sure because we got a lot of people. We're gonna make sure she gets set up. I'll just say, I'll do it for her. Okay, hey everybody. We got a lot of people here today, and so we have an overflow room in the back. Just trying to make sure we have enough chairs for everybody else. So we're still going to figure out the chairs. We'll get started in about 2 minutes. All right. Sorry. Thank you.
Especially not there's one for the rezone.
So it should be 2 months for each, for the public hearing for the variance, each variance, and for the.
Okay, but if they request it,
Hmm?
if they request it, we'll just.
In this case, I just for the law.
I'll look right there.
All right. Can you test sound for me?
Test.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Test. Test.
Microphone's picking up.
It feels like. No.
Want me to? All right, let's start the show.
All right, the time is now 6:34, so we will call to order the City of Mulberry Planning and Zoning. First item, I will make a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Can I get a second?
Second?
All right, any comments on the agenda tonight? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, tonight's agenda is approved. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes from July 21st, 2026. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, so the meeting minutes are approved. Staff, do you have any comments or?
Yeah, I just wanted to make an announcement for all of these agenda items tonight. When we were reviewing the upcoming meeting cycle, we realized that there was a conflict on September 17th when this would be the second read and final decision for all of our cases tonight. As a result, it's not a public hearing. We don't need to re-advertise in the paper since there's no public hearing, but we are going to postpone or move that decision from the 17th to October 1st,
Okay.
which is the first regularly scheduled meeting in October.
And I just want to elaborate on that for the public. There's a conflict because myself and a number of the council members have to be with the county for an event. And so just with that conflict, we want to make sure that everybody is here so that, there's a vote for the decision.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why we're moving it. And then we'll just proceed forward with everything.
All right, so October 1st will be the,
The final decision for all the cases here.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take a moment to remind everyone that the planning commission is a recommended body only. Any items voted on tonight must go before the Mulberry City Council twice before the final decision is made. Our decisions will include as a recommended only when the items go before City Council. We politely ask anyone speaking tonight during the public comment or public hearing sections, please be respectful and maintain decorum during their comments, and comments should be related to specific planning and zoning items only. Comments to the planning commission be limited to no more than 3 minutes and shall not be related to agenda items. Public comments for an agenda item may be provided during the public comment period for the item. Groups wishing to address an issue should select 1 or 2 spokespersons. The time allowed for all issues shall not exceed a total of 10 minutes. Issues raised during this time are generally referred to the secretary for review. All right, so the first thing is our old business, and the first item for old business is case number SUP-2026.06.1342. Applicant Alfred White, owner HKS Investments LLC, requests a special use permit for a C2 zone property located at 3326 and 3350 Ridge Road, Gwinnett County tax parcels 7182028 and 7182026 for a place of assembly use.
Just before we get into the old business, do you want to open the public comment period for non-agenda items?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so I will make a motion to open the comment to public comment for non-agenda items. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, does anyone have public comments they would like to make not related to an agenda item tonight? Sir?
You want me up here?
Yes, sir.
And please state your
Just state
name
your-
and sorry, I
Go
took
ahead.
your.
It's fine.
your-
I'm Dale Bargan, and I live on Toggle Road. I have a number of items that some of them coordinate with, agenda items, so I'll try to pick out the ones that don't. One of them is, which you guys may or may not have much to do with, but one of them is communication with citizens and allowing the citizens to communicate back. For instance, this information I had lots of trouble finding on the website. I have trouble finding your calendar on the website. Under government, there is no planning commission headline listed where I could click on it and find it. Mostly I find out from other people. I don't know why I can't just click your website and see a list of all the meetings happening in Mulberry. I can find the council if I want to look at council meetings, but why I should have to find out each different government body to assemble my own calendar doesn't make any sense. Let's see. This may or may not have anything to do with county, with your commission, but I had called Matthew Holtkamp, who is the Gwinnett County Commissioner for, I presume, most Mulberry residents. His office refused to talk to me about traffic and traffic lights, and he said that I had to talk to City of Mulberry people. Well, I had talked to City of Mulberry people about 2 weeks ago at the council meeting, and they told me I had to talk to the county because the City of Mulberry doesn't do traffic lights. They have nothing to do with traffic lights. That's all the county. But Holtcamp's office says they won't talk to me and they threaten to hang up on me. So I would like you guys or the council people to solve that problem. Either I come talk to you and you go talk to them, or you tell them that they need to talk to the citizens. Once they found out I lived in Mulberry, they did not want to talk to me, period. I don't know, maybe the attorney can recommend whether we can file a lawsuit about that. Who do I sue and who do I use? I mean, I voted for these people, now I'm regretting it. Most of the rest of them refer to the 3100 Hamilton Mill, so I'll wait till you talk about that before I mention those things. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, sir. All right, anyone else have comments they'd like to make? All right, if no further comments, I'll make a motion to close the period for public comments. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, the period for public comment is now closed. So now we will get back to the old business.
There we go.
All right, old business, case number SUP-206.06.1342. Applicant Alfred White, owner HKS Investments LLC, requests a special use permit for a C2 zone property located at 3326 and 3350 Ridge Road, Gwinnett County tax parcels 7182028 and 7182026 for a place of assembly usage.
Chair, Planning Commission, good to be here tonight to present this request for you. As you stated, it's a special use permit for a place of assembly. Wanted to note that this item was postponed at the applicant's request from the last regularly scheduled Planning Commission meeting. As you noted, it is a place of assembly. There is an existing residence on the property. The property is 1.1 acres in size, and the request is to use the residence, bring it up to commercial standards, and use it as a place of assembly. As you'll see, the submitted site plan indicates the existing residence. There would be parking located on the adjacent parcel, as well as additional site improvements as required by the ordinance. These are the existing elevations of the residence. It is a brick home. I believe it was constructed in the 1950s. And the floor plan, and then the survey of the property. After doing the special use analysis, staff did end up recommending denial on this request, and it is related to the conditions of a special use, which ties to the appropriateness of the site for the use and other criteria as outlined in your staff reports. We do wanted to note, staff recommendation is just a recommendation. If you find merit in the request, you're welcome to recommend approval, and if so, staff does provide you with some guidance as some proposed conditions that we think would be appropriate for the site. And I'm happy to answer any questions in more detail about this request. Otherwise, I'd be happy to turn it over to the applicant for their presentation.
Questions, staff?
Since we had a table last month, has there been any changes to the staff report or from the applicant to staff since then?
Not for this item. There's been no additional documentation for this. If any changes were made to the staff report, they were minor and clarification, but nothing substantial.
But no additions from the applicant? Okay.
Any more questions for staff? Okay. Not this time. All right. Applicant?
Good evening, gentlemen, lady, the commission. I'm Nathan Powell, address 1430 Eugenia Terrace in Lawrenceville, and I'm here on behalf of the applicant. I represent the Buford Islamic Center, which is the applicant tonight, and with me back here are members of the center's board and our engineer and neighbors who will speak briefly in support. We ask for your recommendation of approval of this special use permit, but it's temporary and on conditions that the center itself has proposed. It's trying to restrict the use here. And here's the whole request in one sentence. About 30 of your neighbors at the city would like to keep praying quietly in a less than 1,700 square foot former house at the corner of Ridge Road and Hamilton Mill Road for about 2 more years, maybe 3, until their permanent home at 3100 Hamilton Mill is built. That's the request. And then this permit for the use at this location will end automatically. So let me give you the facts. This property is a C1 neighborhood business district, and for 3 years, even before it was annexed into the city, this small congregation has gathered here for daily prayers. Under the Gwinnett County Code that governed this land when the use began, the place of worship was a permitted use in C1 by right without a special use permit, without a hearing required. The congregation is very small. The attendance peaks at about 30 people once a week at Friday midday prayer. Most of its gatherings are briefer and smaller still, and 3 of the 5 daily prayers happen outside of business hours completely. They meet before sunrise, after dark, and when the commercial corridor around it is completely empty. The building will not grow, the use will not grow, and the congregation, prior to the city's annexation, hired off-duty Gwinnett County police officers for security. So what they've done is be a careful and considerate neighbor this entire time. Now, across the street, it's one of the busiest commercial corridors and nodes in the city. Kroger anchored Hamilton Mill Road's Hamilton Ridge Center directly across Ridge Road serves hundreds of customers at a time. At that same center, Smart Life Fitness runs group classes, Jersey Mike's, Marco's Pizza, Fill Up, Kumon assembles school children and parents every afternoon. PT Solutions sees patients all day. And also along the same corridor, we've got Waffle House, Chili's, a Banks, and a dental office. And every one of those secular businesses gathers as many people or more as this congregation does. And every one of them operates by right, without a special use permit, without a hearing, and without conditions. So under your ordinances written today, a restaurant seating 75 people could open in this same building tomorrow with no vote and no application for the commission. But these 30 worshipers do require your permission. So all we ask is that your congregation, that this congregation be treated just like its neighbors. Now, switching gears a little bit, I want to be clear about what the law provides here, because it's tricky. There's a federal statute. The Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act provides that a religious assembly may not be treated on less equal terms than secular assemblies, like those commercial uses across the street. And they can't be substantially burdened without a compelling reason. So courts in Georgia, in Lilburn, and in Newton County have overlooked zoning decisions that kept Moss out, and they ended with federal involvement and ultimately approvals. So I raise this to frame what an approval here accomplishes. It's not a favor to the center. It's an outcome that keeps the city comfortably on the right side of federal law without infringing on constitutional rights at no cost to any legitimate planning interest. So every legitimate concern such as traffic, parking, drainage, compatibility, it's fully answered by the conditions that we've proposed and the fact that it's going to end in a certain period of time. Now those conditions are unusual because they're designed to end the use of this location, not to entrench it. The center has purchased land at 3100 Hamilton Mill and is designing the permanent place there, which is well off the street. That's a site that meets the city's own place of assembly standards on a site plan your staff has already reviewed in pre-application. And so the city proposes first that this permit terminates automatically when a CO issues for the new facility, if and when, or in 36 months, whichever comes first. Second, it terminates on any sale or transfer of the property or discontinuance of the use, so it will benefit no future owner. And third, occupancy capped, it will be capped consistent with fire code and the parking plan that the engineers described. So there's no expansion of the building, no exterior changes, no outdoor amplified sound, in full compliance with staff's prior site terms, which include the parking surface, the dumpster screening, and the erosion control. This may be the only application you see all year that asks you to approve less for a shorter time with a built-in expiration date. We're looking for a narrow approval here. The standards in your ordinance ask whether this use is suitable next to its neighbors, whether it harms the use of nearby property, whether it burdens streets or utilities, A use that has operated this corner for 3 years answers those questions with evidence. It's not predictions, not guesswork. There's no traffic problem at the Kroger that would register with parking plan. No complaints from the businesses beside it. And the people in this room tonight are your residents. They shop at this Kroger. Their children are tutored at Kumon, meaning the congregation here. They're asking for 2 years of what every business around them already has, which is the simple right to gather. Also, because this use existed prior to the city's annexation, we just want to put on the record that we're reserving rights that this may be a grandfathered use under Gwinnett County's approval. So we respectfully ask the commission to recommend approval of this application with the conditions proposed. I'm happy to answer your questions. If you don't have any questions, I'll give my time to the congregation.
Questions?
I just have one question. So this already has been being used as a place of gathering, correct?
Yes.
It's still right now, or was that?
No.
How long?
It was closed in April.
Okay.
It was the city's order that closed it. So the congregation has respected the order to close it. It's April 4th, I think, of this year.
Okay, and prior to that, how long was it being used?
2.5 years.
Okay, that's what I didn't know.
Yeah.
Any questions?
You said, there's a cap on the membership based off of the parking plan and the engineers. What is, do you know that cap off the top of your head? Like, how many people can try to go into this smaller?
I don't know off the top of my head what fire code will permit. I'll say it's not, what I understand is it's not more than 35 people at a time. That's even at a peak time that's typical. So it's pretty low usage. Now, I haven't personally been present for that, but members of the congregation probably better qualified.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I will now make a motion to open for the period of public comment. Do I have a second?
A second.
All right, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed? All right, so anyone wishing to speak on behalf of this, please come up.
There's one thing I want to say, right? So we have the overflow room. I'm texting the people, my staff out there, because there are people who want to make a comment, so we just allow for that time.
Right.
And then we just need to start with for or against at y'all's discretion.
Right, so this will be for. Yes. So you'll have 10 minutes total to speak for.
My name is Steve Hughes, and I live at 413 Four Seasons Court in Cuba. And I spoke about this at the last city council meeting, but it wasn't up for a vote then. Back in 1981, I graduated from a very conservative Baptist, independent Baptist seminary. We were premillennial and dispensational in our theology, and if you know anything about that, you know what that means. We're very, very conservative. I met my wife while we were there, and later she would become the first kindergarten teacher at Northeast Atlanta Christian Schools when it was founded. And later she would teach there at when Hebron Christian Academy bought out Northeast in the late 1990s, she taught there. In 2008, my son graduated from Hebron Christian Academy. And while he was there, they had a chapel and a pastor from the Lilburn area, Buddy, forget Buddy's last name, but he was a pastor there, and he had they had a ministry, Jesus to the Muslim World. And they spoke in chapel, and my son and his friend followed him out in the driveway there and spoke to him, and he invited him to come to a meeting, and he started going. And as a result, he went to the Georgia State University, and he majored in Middle Eastern Studies. And from there, he went on to Istanbul, Turkey, and he earned his master's degree in Istanbul, Turkey. He was there 3 years. He learned how to speak and write Turkish and Arabic. And he went there not knowing one person and not speaking the language. And while he was there, he came in contact with many in the Muslim community. and they always treated him with respect and with decency, and I am grateful for the treatment that he received while he was there. After he finished, he came back and earned his doctor's degree in Middle Eastern Studies from the University of North Carolina. And today he is the Associate Director of the Center for Middle Eastern Studies and Islamic Studies there at UNC. I want to say that for me, myself, that I welcome the Muslim community here in the city of Mulberry, and I would count it a great asset to have them here. My son married a young lady who is Muslim. She is a doctor, a medical doctor, and she teaches at the UNC School of Medicine, and she also has a practice there. Her mom and dad are Palestinian refugees. Before Israel became Israel, it was known as Palestine, and her father was a refugee. He was driven out of his homeland and had to go to Syria. Later he would come here, the United States, become a citizen, and he also is a medical doctor there in North Carolina. I don't know what decision you will reach here today, but I hope it's not going to be based on whether these folks are Muslims versus Christians. I think that is a grave, grave mistake if it happens. If you choose to deny it for some other reason, I wish you would also think about you're setting a precedent here today. If you're going to deny it because of traffic patterns and traffic congestion, then you're setting a standard for what comes after. And that might be a Protestant church. That might be a Catholic church. That might be a subdivision. I want to say that I am proud to have my daughter-in-law as a member of my family. And I am proud to have her parents as family too. They never talked about killing people. They've never talked about changing culture. They entered the community, became part of the community, and have been nothing but gracious for me. Thank you.
Thank you. How much time we have?
4.5 minutes.
All right, would someone else like to come speak?
Is this 3326, 3350?
It
Or
is.
3100, okay.
Yeah, it's 3326 and 3350.
Good evening, chairs, members of the planning commission, and our neighbors of the city of Mulberry. My name is Rizwan Munir. I serve as a director on the board of Mulberry Islamic Center. I don't want to speak tonight on the zoning or legal arguments because our attorney is going to address it or have already addressed it. I want to speak tonight as who we are. Okay, we are your neighbors. We live here. We work here. We're raising our families here. Our children go to the same school. We show up at the same stores, and we deeply care about this community. It's not about the two properties, 2350 and the 2100. It's about finding a peaceful place where families can come together and pray, children can learn, and then we can continue to serve our community, which we deeply care about it. 3350 is the only place in the city of Mulberry and Buford where the community of our faith can worship. And we request you respectfully that allow a temporary use of 3350 until we work on the permanent home at 3100. We want to grow with Mulberry, not apart from Mulberry. And we'd like to thank you for your time, service, and for your consideration of this application.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How much time we have?
3 minutes remain and 4 seconds.
All right, anyone else like to come up, sir? Say your name and address.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. I live off of Camp Branch in Drayton Hall. I just moved to Buford about 5 years ago.
What was your name? I'm sorry.
My first name is Omer, O-M-E-R, last name is Khan.
Thank you.
So when we moved to this community, obviously we had to go to a different mosque about 15, 20 minutes away. But when they announced that, Masjid Husna was gonna be opening and gonna be a part of this community, we were excited. And not only us, like our kids were excited. In today's generation, when kids are growing up, it's in a very, it's easy to get lost. And this is a very tough times that we're all being raised in. So the kids, are always looking forward to going to a place where other kids are, they're running around, they're playing with each other, and have something to relate to with one another, especially in the evenings after school or on the weekends. Even for us, right, adults, we go to work, we come home, at nighttime we go for prayer, we meet, get to laugh a little bit, have coffee together, and we always look forward to it. And since the mosque has been closed, my son literally asks me every other day, when is Masjid Husna opening? When am I gonna see my friends again? So hopefully this, evening can be a positive response, and hopefully we can move forward with something. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
2 minutes.
Hello everyone, my name is Nazia Sarpalan and I live right on Camp Branch Road. And just like Omar told us, we are a small community, and I originally was born and raised in England, so we've always had mosques nearby. And truthfully speaking, there is nothing nearby. Like even if you Google, like we have GIC, which is now 20 minutes away. There's one in Decula. There's a Kuba mosque, like that comes into Sugar Hill. We do not have a place to worship nearby. I'm door to door 4 minutes. And ever since Mulberry, you guys shut us down, you just feel disconnected. And like you can ask like our neighbors with the dentist or anybody, we've been good neighbors. And I don't want to bring religion into this, but we are told to respect and be polite, and like with every religion, you get good and bad. But it does mean a lot to me. I have one daughter who's married, and the younger one goes to college, so if I feel like a little down, or I feel like I need like a bit of spirituality, like for a person like me, I would love to go and be there. It's a place of, sanctuary for me, or, I feel at ease. So I really, really request you that since, this has been closed, like our community has just basically that's the talk of the town, like, when are we gonna get together? And, there's no noise, there's no, nobody will know what's going on. It's like very calm and, pleasant environment. We don't want to disrupt anybody. We just want to be neighbors and friendly towards everybody. So I do request all of you please to listen to our plea and accept that we are able to go there. And in the meantime, work on the, it's a temporary, like we told you, it's temporary to move into 3100, hopefully, and we want to comply with all the rules and regulations that you guys require. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any time left?
Half a minute.
For anyone else, we've got about a half a minute left. If anyone else would like to speak. All right, so if no one else would like to speak on behalf, would anyone like to speak against this?
Mr. Chair, I would ask, I'm getting messages that if you're at the podium, please kind of speak into the microphone, and if you all could speak into your mics.
Okay.
So that way we can make sure that everybody hears.
Okay.
We're gonna try to turn it up a little bit, so if it screeches, sorry.
Then should we maybe push that microphone
Yeah.
a little bit further out?
Is it still 32, 36, 33? Okay. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You gotta yell at me up.
That's all right.
No worries.
All right, so anyone wishing to speak against this agenda item, you can make your way to the podium. You have 10 minutes also.
My name is Michael Applicant, and I'm from District 4. My question is, the city of Mulberry was created to give us some relief from the way Gwinnett County was governed. And it seemed like everything that comes before councils, it was just either, and I ain't saying it was bought, but gives the appearance to the citizens that, well, you can buy your way in. That's not a good precedent. Mulberry is a young city and has a chance to govern in a manner where it doesn't matter where a Republican or a Democrat, a liberal, a conservative, it doesn't matter what their opinions are. It's run by the way y'all set up, the way City Hall should be ran. If y'all choose to keep it that way, it won't matter who's in. It can be ran the way y'all set it up. Right here, I mean, C1, this is zoning, it's not for assembly. It's for neighborhood businesses that serve the neighborhood. And that's just, that's what I got I wonder why they would come in, why they would buy the properties. I understand and respect their concerns, but you don't have to do nothing but watch the news. Why is all that stuff going on? I'm asking a question. I don't know if anybody in this room, them included, can answer that question. I'm just wondering. And it was brought to my attention because I was in there where I couldn't hear. Just curious, why wasn't the Pledge of Allegiance recited before this started? And that's all I got to say on this.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
My name is James Z. I live off Camp Ranch Road and Northwick subdivision. And the traffic in the area where this is going to be has not been great. We go to Kroger all the time and some of the other places around in there, and it keeps getting worse. As far as, you know, Muslims go, I lived in Turkey in the early 70s. It was far eastern Turkey in Diyarbakir. And had a lot of good Turkish people and a lot of bad ones, just like anything else. But I do know that if this is made into a, quote, assembly area, it's as an assembly area for building a large mosque around the corner. And that large mosque around the corner is going to bring an awful lot more traffic when it comes in. It is going to make it a mess. It doesn't matter whether it is a Muslim mosque or a Hindu temple or even a Christian church being added into that area with everything else that's going on right now. I don't think that the city of Mulberry should allow it, because who's going to change the roads? That's all I've got to say.
Thank you.
And again, I'm not saying this in an anti-Muslim way, so I don't want people to be looking at it that way.
Thank you. What's that?
It's been 4 minutes and 22 seconds.
Okay.
So about 3.5 left, or
I'll laugh.
5 minutes.
All right. Someone else like to speak? Yes, sir.
I'm still Dale Bargan from Tuttle Road. This is not specifically about this issue as much as all issues. I think you need to adjust your rules. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people interested in talking about this and expressing their opinion, and to limit all of the people to 10 minutes, I can understand saying 2 or 3 minutes per person. But if there's 100 people here and each one wants to give 2 minutes, I think you should be obligated to listen to them and not cut them off at 10 minutes, basically 3 people. It doesn't make any sense. Basically, we are, as Mr. Applicant said, we went along with creating the city so that we could be heard better, not worse. So you shutting us down to like 3 people on a topic makes absolutely no sense, and I think you're ducking your duty. Regarding this particular one, I'd be interested to know what the parking capacity of the Ridge Road property is, and whether, perhaps I missed it, but are both of the properties combined 1 acre, or is each of the properties on that area 1 acre?
Combined.
Combined is 1 acre. So what is the parking capacity of 1 acre? My guess is that once you start with 30 people, what happens with next week, you have 50 people that want to come. You turn them away? Do they create another service or another meeting time? What's the number of meetings that's planned for a day? My understanding is that most of these assembly places have meetings all day long, 7 days a week. And why would that be different for Ridge Road? Or for Hamilton Mill, once we get to that topic. So, anyway. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's 6 minutes and 10 seconds have elapsed.
Okay. Anyone else like to speak?
I would like to speak. Oh, sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Go on.
Hello all, my name is Margaret Alfredui, and I own 2 properties here in Hamilton Mill area. One of them is on the closest to this location that we're talking about. It's right off of Hard Creek Lane. So we're roughly about a block away. When we moved into the community 9 years ago, things were better as far as the traffic goes. But traffic has turned out to be horrendous lately. With no traffic lights, it's very hard to turn into the streets that we live on. And just adding on another property, I'm not opposed to any religious beliefs, but I just feel that at this point, until we deal with the traffic situation and the traffic lights and the widening of the roads that would need to be in place, I think we should have this project on hold for now. Thank you for your consideration and giving me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you.
Thank you.
$7:20.
All right, we still have a few minutes left, about 2.5 minutes. Would someone else like to speak? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Susan Rogers. I live on Camp Ranch Road, and I shop at Kroger. I buy gas at Kroger. I support the Chinese restaurant, everything that's in there, including Famous Joe's, which isn't there anymore. My concern about this is that intersection. And if you all have not been there and watched what goes on at that intersection, you need to do that before you make any decision about anything. Most all of us here have done that numerous times. In my family, personally, my husband was hit by someone coming out of Ridge Road. He was on Hamilton Mill. They just flew out, hit him. He's lucky to be alive. His car was totaled. The passenger in the car should be dead, but God spared him. But they had 2 broken legs. And this is the setup right here. I don't know if you bought gas at Kroger. I bought some there today. when you come out of, there's two entrances into the side of Kroger, I'm sure you're all familiar with that. One is at the gas station, and now they've added all these other business and stuff in front on Hamilton Mill. Guess where they come? They come right out there too. You get up here, it's like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 car lengths before there's Hamilton Mill. You can hardly get out. You have to pray that some kind of person is gonna stop and let you get out, and then you gotta figure out, can I turn left? I mean, it's an absolute boondoggle of an intersection. At the other entrance there where the stores are at the Kroger Center, there's another entrance. Behind a big curve, you can't see who's coming, they can't see you. It's a nightmare. And to even think about allowing another something, whatever it is on that corner. I've lived there 28 years, been going through all this. It's insane. There's no way to handle more stuff coming into that intersection. Until that intersection is taken care of, somehow, I don't know, I'm not a traffic planner, but I know the way it is now, not another thing should be allowed to go in there, whatever it is. Thank you.
Thank you. And one reminder for everybody, if, we don't have to do it now, but if you could sign your name
Oh,
to the
certainly, I
paper
will.
there.
And if you've already
Address.
spoken and we haven't gotten your address.
We can do it later.
Please, before you leave, put your information on the pad. Thank you.
20 seconds left.
All right, we have a little bit of time. Does anyone else like to say anything? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Vicki Miller. I live on North Puckett Road, which dead ends into Ridge Road, there, close to where this is gonna be. I'm not that familiar with it at this point, because I just found out about it, so I showed up at the meeting tonight. But the one thing that I see that's not been addressed here, and just sitting and listening to people talk, is that you had said it was zoned for neighborhood. Yeah.
Neighborhood is the strictest commercial.
Right, but it's
Zoning
to serve
you
the
have.
neighborhood, is what it's zoned for. So if we're allowing something to come in that's only gonna serve 30 or 35 people, I think that's a little bit prejudice there as well. So why would we allow that? Because the only people that it's gonna serve is of that religion, whatever that religion may be. And they're saying 30 to 35 people aren't they?
Okay.
So why would we do that?
Thank you.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
Can you sign, ma'am? The treasurer. All right, thank you all for the public comments. I will make a motion to close the period for public comment. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, so the period for public comment is now closed. And we will, plan commission discussion.
You can open discussion.
Yeah,
Can I open discussion?
I'll just open discussion.
I got a couple questions for the city. Can you walk through very quickly when the ordinance took place? When the ordinance took place, and what did it mean when it shut down the existing operations?
Yeah, so we updated the Unified Development Ordinance in October of last year. And as part of that, we looked at the use table and adjusted due to RLUIPA. We wanted to make sure that all places of assembly were treated the same. So that's where the change came into effect. And so that would be when it.
Is there any other places that you're aware of that this affected?
Yeah, I'll answer that. Yes, we have other applications for other religious centers who will be going through the same process. Staff has already met with one facility that is very near this location off of Ridge Road, on the other end of Ridge Road.
Okay.
And they too have applied for a SUP. I don't know if they've submitted it yet. but, we do have another applicant of a different religious facility that will be coming through next cycle.
Okay. And in brief, because I can't read them real, can you walk through the merit-based issues that staff has recommended for tonight?
Yeah, let me pull them up. I don't have all of my notes here, so give me just 1 second. So